Good afternoon, folks. I'm reminded of some, not necessarily Twitter wars, but Twitter responses from Jason Schreier and Neil Druckmann on before the game was released. So about a week before it was released. So we're talking about June, the second week of June, about there. And there was a tweet by someone who obviously got the game in advance. I don't know who this person is. I can't. I don't know how he's blocked me. I've never heard of this fellow. But apparently, he had a Twitter feed, about 5 responses, saying, we're talking about The Last of Us Part 2. And this caused Neil Druckmann to respond to that. It's clear that Jeff is comparing an emotional response between two pieces of media, not subject matter or importance. I didn't take it as a direct comparison between our game and the Holocaust itself, or even as a way to diminish the weight of that film. And here, Jason is trying to talk about maybe you should ease up on the hyperbole. I think you're exaggerating. You can't seriously be saying stuff like this. Jeff, or rather Neil, continued on with that tweet saying, with all due respect, I find these kinds of ironic jokes to be unproductive at best. We can do better with critical discourse, especially by those of us with thousands of followers, especially about sensitive subject matter. So he's talking about Jason. And if you don't know Jason, Jason is one of the, I wouldn't say the biggest name out there in games journalism, but he's the guy who cracks open the ghosts on game studios, finds out how games are made, and talks about the crunch time and all the people involved who get fired or have to work very difficult hours to produce these things. He's done this with BioWare and other studios. So naturally, you'd want to be on his good side because he might reveal something about you. And that's kind of the big story was last month with Last of Us and Naughty Dog. So here's the whole Twitter thread of Jeff Cannata from June the 12th. It just starts off so beautiful. The Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece of video game narrative. Like, okay, fine. Nothing else even comes close. Nothing. It's on its own island of masterpiece. The story is brutal, challenging, bold, and almost never fun. Oh. So, sure, a narrative doesn't have to be fun, but it should be at least enjoyable, right? You should enjoy watching the narrative or playing the narrative. But okay, we know that the game is also not a word that Druckmann uses when describing what games are. So I guess he's in line with that idea. It is harrowing, forcing the player to confront violence in a way video games never do. So bravo there, Last of Us 2. Jeff Cannata of... who is this guy? He's a music guy. He's an actor. And he is a part of the dungeon run. I have no idea. Anyway, he got an advanced copy. He's impressed by the game. In a medium where everything is John Wick. So just so you know, guys, every video game is John Wick. I mean, he could have said movies. He could have said books. He could have said radio drama. He could have said anything. Already he's sounding like a lunatic. In a medium where everything is John Wick, The Last of Us Part 2 is Schindler's List. Like, whoa. Okay. Now, I don't know what he thinks about movies, but I'm assuming that that's the analogy. Like, everything is in the movies is just another action movie. And then we have Schindler's List. You're like, oh, thanks, Spielberg. That's great. So apparently he likes Schindler's List. And just like that film, there were times when I wasn't sure I could keep going. So you're going, oh, so I guess you didn't like Schindler's List that much. Is that what makes it a masterpiece? I don't know. You could show me a video of gore, and I wouldn't want to keep watching it just because it's not very fun to watch. It's kind of gory. It's kind of disgusting. I'd be like, why am I doing this to myself? I have better things to do with my time. There's nothing here. It is a relentless emotional assault that I suspect will force even the most jaded gamer to feel empathy. Okay, so it sounds as if this game, this is June the 12th, is going to break you down to the point where you're going to feel empathy? For who? Yourself? For the characters on the screen? Why would I feel empathy? That's not how relentless emotional assaults work. Maybe if it's some form of drama, I might care for someone, then I might feel empathy, but why as a relentless emotional assault? That kind of sounds like it's repetitive and boring, and it's just, ugh. Get it over with. I would feel empathy to get it over with. I don't want to watch this anymore. Get to the ending already. I'd feel empathy for myself. The game is a work of art. Every aspect feels crafted at the highest level. Okay, fine. Visual, audio controls, animation, level design, performance. It is astounding and frequently beautiful, with moments you never find in video games, but I cannot overstate how harrowing it is. It's so beautiful, it's harrowing. Okay. That's usually when you see something beautiful, you're like, oh, I can't look away. It's so gorgeous. But this is the exact opposite. It's so ugly. It's so difficult to sit through. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's a work of art. Okay, I mean, you can have pieces of work, pieces of art, pictures, paintings, music that's so noisy, so messy, so disgusting that it can be considered amazing. I guess that's what he's getting at. And that's pretty similar to how people reacted to the game, how it tries to play with your feelings to con you into liking these characters. It feels like 2 seasons of the darkest TV show you'll ever find. Oh, here we go. Now, we're going from movies, now we're going to TV shows. And it frequently better than most TV on the air. So now, not only is it the Schindler's List of movies, where every movie is John Wick. It's like, why would you watch movies then? It is the best TV show and the darkest. And that's saying a lot. I think it is an important game. Capital important, all right? Can't forget how important this game is. It tore me up, and I will never, ever forget it. The Last of Us Part 2 is a game that will change you. I don't know if it'll change me for the better. It doesn't sound like something I'd ever want to go through or for a positive experience. I don't think it sounds like a fun time to be had. In short, The Last of Us Part 2 put me through hell. Well, lots of games put me through hell for the sake of getting through with it because it was so bad. I did not enjoy it. Oh, okay. Then why did you do it? Like even drama or dark stories or sad stories you're going to go through because it makes you feel better after going through it. That's the point. You have tragedies for a reason. They set up a certain payoff at the end that you get. How tragic these people can't be together. How sad it is. And in this way, you're on a violent quest for revenge and you just don't get it. You're like, oh, that's not, you weren't expecting a happy ending in the first place. But to get nothing, to get a nihilistic pile of nothing, what is there to enjoy? And of course, he didn't enjoy it. So I guess he's being honest. He's like, yeah, this is a pile of crap. But he's actually saying, no, it's not a pile of crap. It's beautiful. You're like, okay. I wasn't supposed to. So how is it a good game or a good narrative if you weren't supposed to enjoy it? I was affected by it. Oh, I felt feelings. Bravo, Jeff. You had a human response of revulsion. Like no game before. I am in awe of it. Yeah, it's kind of like someone when they impale your hand with a spike. I'm not enjoying this. I've never felt anything like this before. I can't break away because it's, I'm impaled. I can't move my hand away. I am recovering from it. So it sounds like it personally hurt this guy. I don't think that's a very good definition of art. I mean, you can do some pretty gory stuff and disgusting stuff, but usually there's something to go with it. There's something to make you digest it, to say that was worth it. Because I can't imagine someone like this ever wanting to replay that game if it's having this negative response to people. Strange opinion there, comparing movies and TVs and video games to John Wick and putting Last of Us Part 2 on this pedestal that no other game has come close to, and saying it's a beautiful, amazing thing that you did not enjoy and you weren't supposed to, but because you felt something that was so profoundly negative, it must have been good. Okay there, Jeff Cannata. Thanks for your opinion. I just thought you guys would enjoy that. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a great day.